What if you became the richest person in the world, but lost the two people you loved the most? Would all that money be enough to erase your regrets? Today, I'll share a touching story that will remind you why love, family, and time are far more valuable than wealth. Stay until the end, because this story may change the way you see life. Long ago, nestled in a peaceful village surrounded by towering mountains, green forests, and golden fields, lived a poor family in a small wooden cottage. The family had one son named Thomas. Thomas was a stubborn and disrespectful boy. He never listened to his mother or father. He ignored their advice, spoke to them rudely, and even stole money from their home. Yet despite everything, his mother loved him with all her heart. She always forgave him and prayed that one day he would become a good man. But life changed when tragedy struck. Thomas's mother became seriously ill. Day after day, she grew weaker, until one quiet evening she passed away. Her death shattered the family. Unable to bear the pain of losing his wife, Thomas's father turned to alcohol. Every day he drank more and more, trying to escape his sorrow. His health quickly faded, and before long he too passed away. Now Thomas was completely alone. The once warm and joyful home had become silent. There was no mother's voice calling his name, no father's footsteps at the door, only loneliness. One morning, a villager knocked on his door. "Your father owed me a great debt," the man said. "If you cannot repay it, I must take this house." Thomas was frightened. From that day on, he worked harder than he ever had before. He took every job he could find, hoping to save enough money to repay the debt. He worked from sunrise until sunset, but no matter how hard he tried, it was never enough. Soon, the day came when the debt collector returned. Thomas had no choice. His family's little cottage was taken away. Standing outside the empty house where he had grown up, Thomas fell to his knees and cried. For the first time in his life, he realized how much he had lost. The following morning, carrying only a small bag, Thomas left the village in search of a better life. After many days of walking, he found work in a distant mining town. The work was dangerous and exhausting. Every day he dug through hard rock deep beneath the earth. Years passed. For 5 long years, Thomas worked without giving up. Eventually, he saved enough money to open a small mine of his own. Then, one unforgettable day, while breaking apart a massive stone, his pickaxe struck something that sparkled like a star. It was a magnificent diamond. Thomas sold the diamond for an enormous fortune and soon became one of the richest men in the land. He built beautiful homes, owned fertile fields, and had more money than he had ever dreamed possible. Yet every night he sat alone. His heart remained empty. No amount of wealth could bring back his mother. No treasure could bring back his father. With tears in his eyes, Thomas whispered, "If only I had listened to my parents. If only I had been kinder. If only I could see my mother one more time, I would hold her close and care for her every day." But time never turns back. Thomas finally understood the lesson he had ignored as a child. Money can buy a house, but it cannot buy a home. Money can buy medicine, but it cannot buy health. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy happiness. And no amount of wealth can replace the love of parents once they are gone. From that day forward, Thomas used his fortune to help poor families, care for the elderly, and support children in need, hoping that others would never repeat the mistake he had made. But deep inside, one wish remained forever impossible: to hear his mother call his name just one last time. What we can learn from this story. This story teaches us that money is not the most valuable thing in life. We should love, respect, and cherish our parents while they are still with us, because once they are gone, no amount of wealth can bring them back. It also reminds us to be kind, grateful, and never take our loved ones for granted. In the end, true happiness comes from love, family, and the good we do for others, not from money alone.